2. Hey, how you doing? And thank you for joining us for another episode of Technology Tuesday. I'm your host, Greg Russell, here with my good friend, partner in crime, Jerry Franklin Poe. We are excited to be here today to share some cool resources and tips for you guys. Before we get started, I want to thank our syndication partners. We are in several groups all across Facebook and all across YouTube. And we want to say thank you for allowing us to be here and to share this content with your members, your viewers. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. As our list of groups grow, we want to make sure we just say thank you because we appreciate it so much. And with that said, do me a favor and do that group favor and help us grow those groups. Hit that invite button at the top right hand corner and go ahead and invite someone to the group who you know would benefit from being in the same group for you. When you do that, you help grow the group, which helps all of us succeed. So thank you in advance for doing that, and go ahead and invite one person you know who would benefit from being in that group. We are about to start today's show, and we're going to give you some tools, tips, and resources that you could use to help grow your business. This particular show is all about sharing with you the tools, tips, and resources that you need to grow your business to 6 and 7 figures. A lot of times the tech is challenging to find the right tools, and we're here to help you out and share those with you. So we're going to get started right now.
All right, folks. Welcome to another Technology Tuesday. That's right, Tuesday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're always here. And this week, I believe this might be a two-parter. Like, we have so many resources, we cannot fit into just one episode. I mean, the list, I was looking at the list of things we want to talk about. I was like, Greg, I don't know if we're going to be able to cover this in half an hour. So we might just take half of the nine different resources, half of them today, and then next week you want to make sure you stay tuned because you don't want to miss out the other half. These were pretty special. I looked at them earlier and Greg shared them with me, and I was like, oh man, I can't wait to talk about these with the folks because I know just so they see it, they're going to see the benefit of these to their business, because this AI thing has changed the game so much over the last couple years. I was talking to Greg earlier, I've been using Chat GPT more in my business and having fun with it. I find it's just interesting to see what it comes up with and how I can then take that information and use it and put it into different things I'm creating. So, Greg, I don't want to hold up the mission we got for today in order to share these time-saving tools. So I'm going to just pass the ball back to you, my brother.
Hey man, I really appreciate that. I can't wait to dive in either. But I want to share something that I'm going to be an event that I'm going to attend early next year, and I want to share this resources with you guys. This tool, this event, because it is something that is I think can help a lot of people. And it's an event that I went to in 2020, right before the pandemic. And right after that, a month later, everything shut down. And I had such a good time at this event. And you may not know this, but everything that happened at that event, I incorporate into our virtual events, right? A lot of the pieces that happened in the live event, I discovered and learned how I could incorporate it right into a virtual event. And because I had that experience, I was able to make the virtual events a really, really unique experience during that time. And that's one of the things that helped take our virtual event side of the business to the moon and beyond. It was such a great time. So that resource, that event that I'm going to go to is Podfest, right? And so it is Podfest, and the you can find it at podfestexpo.com. So the website is podfestexpo.com. It's happening in Orlando, Florida from January 25th through the 28th of 2024. Now, if you have a podcast or want to have a podcast, you should attend. If you have a YouTube channel that you're trying to grow or want to grow your YouTube channel, you should attend. This is the event for creators, and this is one of the two largest events, annual events that they have for podcasters and creators. And this is one that I will be there. And so I'm inviting all of you guys, my family and friends, to attend Podfest this year with me. So let's show up and show out and have a good time down there in Orlando. And if you are in our group, I will share a special code, a QR code that will get you 20% off the regular prices. So make sure you join our group at technologytuesday.com to get the discount on tickets. I don't know how long that discount is going to be available. I know it is available right now, so get it now while I know it's available, so you can save a little bit of money and have more money to spend on yourself down there at the event. So that is Podfest Expo. And you may not know this, Jerry, but I know the owner, the creator of Podfest. His name is Chris Kermitzos. He was actually here in Houston, and we hooked up and had a great time. He's also the author of the book Start Ugly, and he's a great guy. He is a master networker and bringing people together. And what amazes me about him is that he's able to remember so many people's names. Like, it's like over 2,000 people, and he'll just be like, hey, this is such and such, and just remember their name. I'm amazed because with that many people, it would just, I'd struggle. But he's just a very unique individual that I would love to be able to introduce you guys to. So I'm definitely going to see if I can have him on the show. He's been on the show before. Yes, he's been on the show before, but we're going to see if we can get him back for him to give you some information on the podcast. He is a master at growing podcasts. His name is Chris Kermitzos. So with that, that's what I want to invite you guys to. And Jerry, hopefully you can make it so that both of us can be there and we'll have a great time down in Orlando, Florida.
Yeah, man, I'm looking at my schedule. I'm gonna see if I can get down there as well because it's Florida. It's gonna be Florida in January, so that's better than being in Pennsylvania in the cold. So I'm definitely trying to figure out how I can get myself down there and learn. I mean, it looks like it's gonna be a great event for the whole week. A lot of different speakers that can help you when it comes to creating content, different ideas, and just networking in general.
Yes. Yep. All right, cool. So let's dive into some resources. So since I was talking about Podfest and podcasting, the first resource that I want to share is one that can help you with that, and that is called. It is called podcast.adobe. So it's Adobe Podcast, but the website is podcast.adobe.com. And this is, Adobe, the one who makes PDFs and Adobe Photoshop if you're old school. But yeah, so podcast.adobe gives you these features to do some things with your audio file that I just think are really unique. So one of the things you can do if you don't have like a really good mic, you can use this service to increase the quality of your audio without having a good mic, right? So you can check that out. It will basically enhance the spoken audio with just one click. So you can just throw it up there and hit the button. One of the things about these AI tools that have to do with audio is that they all are really good at making your audio better. So you don't have to spend as much money or be as concerned with of getting the audio as loud, clean, and crisp as you did in the past, because the AI can take care of that for you. Um, the other thing, this one is very similar. What you can do, like another service called Descript, is edit your audio in the doc and have it say different words for you. So you can edit it right in the transcript. So it'll edit it and make you say the word that you changed instead of the word that was there. And basically, it has professional grade recording. So this is something that you can definitely use. I would definitely check it out. It is podcast.adobe. And I can't remember if it's free or not. This is Adobe, so I'm pretty sure there is a fee to it. But it is one that I've researched and heard from quite a few different people about how good it is. So I definitely check out podcast.adobe. And if there's anything I know about Adobe, because I use quite a few of their products, is they are usually very, very, very good quality. And from the people that I've heard from this one, um, I think it's also going to be very, very good quality. So
Yeah,
I'm
man,
going to,
that looks like a good one.
yeah, I'm going to see if I can get in with my other account here and just see if I can see anything about pricing. Okay, boom, boom, boom. There is a free option, so let's check it out. Let you guys know right now. So basically, there is a free option, and basically the free option will just kind of give you a sample, a taste of what it can do. But they also have a 30-day free trial, right? So you get a whole 30 days to test it out with all the full features, and you can see here the difference between bulk uploading, um, the enhancement strength of the audio file, and the size of the files you can upload, as well as the duration of files that you can upload, right? So yeah, there is a free option for you guys to check it out, and you can always upgrade to the premium if you are interested, and there is a 30-day free trial, so you can go ahead and test out and try out podcast.adobe and check out their cool features for enhancing your podcast. A lot of times this saves you money, because if you do record and then after that recording you want to edit in what's considered post, meaning after you record it, and enhance that audio, there's services and people you can pay to do that for you, but this AI now will do it for you for much cheaper and faster. So I definitely definitely check that out. If you're doing something that's live, like we pretty much do this live or semi live, um, then you don't need this, right? Because any ums and ahs that we say in this particular show is going to be there, but you determine on your show how you want it. We particularly like a live show because we want that engagement, and a lot of times when you're really just giving yourself in the moment, you connect with people on a deeper level. So you have to determine which is right for you. For us, we decided to just go the live route, and plus we don't have to worry about anything in post-production. If we make a mistake, well, here it is, it's live, it's in living color. It's just here for you to see. But usually we just do it in a way where we minimize the mistakes that we make. If we do make it, we learn from them, and that's the way we decided to do our show. But you can decide what's best for you. All right, man. Any comments or feedback on that?
No, you good, man. I think you wrapped it up. But I think the key for anyone is that audio is extremely important when you're doing these videos. I mean, people will watch a video if they can hear it, but if it has bad audio, they are more likely to tune out.
Yes, yes, it's that important, and that's why you got me double checking the audio levels again,
Yeah.
just as we finish. So listen, appreciate that. If you guys have any comments, go ahead and put it in the comments, and if you're tuning in live, let us hit us up at hashtag live, and if you're watching the replay, do hashtag replay. Let us know that you are checking us out. That engagement really helps us get this show to reach further audience. So we really appreciate your involvement in that. So thank you in advance for doing that. All right, man. So listen, I got one more for a podcast tool resource. This one, Jerry, I think is very, very good. I recently learned about it, so I'm going to share it with you guys. And that is something called Pod Match. And basically, if you have a show where you interview guests, or you are an expert in your area and you want to be a guest, this Pod Match is kind of like it's like a dating service for podcast hosts and people who want to be a guest. So the cool thing is you can get matched up with people who would be a great guest for your podcast, and it will find podcast that host and programs that are looking for guests that could match you up with your expertise. So it's called podmatch.com, and you can come here and you can check out their features and you can check out the pricing. And you can choose whether you're a host, whether you're a guest, or you're both. And then basically, they also, if you help them find people, they will give you 20%, which is the really cool thing. So if you know someone who's maybe been on your show, if you have a podcast, that could be a great guest for someone else, and you refer them to Podmatch, you can earn 20%. So Jerry, the way I look at this is when I see something like 20%, I'd be like, okay, if I want this service, how many referrals do I need for it to be free for me? So I look at this and I'm like, listen, 5 referrals and my service is basically free. But you can see the difference between the standard and the professional, and it's basically $32 a month for the standard and $57 a month for the professional. And basically, they let you know, hey, you can earn up to $28 for each interview they complete through Podmatch. So this one is a really good resource. I highly recommend you come here and check out um, podmatch.com.
Yep.
Yes, sir. I don't
Yeah,
know,
that's a
man.
good one, man.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
gonna have
that's
to
a good one.
get on there and see if I can be a guest on quite a few others.
Yeah, well, people are, every once in a while, someone will ask you, how do you find out about different podcasts or how do you become a guest? And it's like, wow, somebody created a basically almost like a dating service for podcasts. It's like, swipe left, swipe right type of situation for podcasting. But they used to have that same type of thing years ago for newspapers, articles, people interviews. Now that media has shifted so much where people have their own platforms, and so now it's a different way to get um, become a guest on someone else's show. Before you have like uh, there would be a resource or different places where they were looking for people who wanted to do articles and things like that.
Yeah, and I think they have and it's still out today, but they have that service called Help a Reporter Out,
Yeah,
where
that's what
they
it
will,
is.
yeah, they will email you
Yep.
every single day, morning and afternoon, I think, um, of reporters and journalists looking for
Yep.
experts on specific topics, and you'll get a list of the topics, and if you fit, then you can submit your thing, and they'll select from the submission. So another way, or some similar one that I known of for a while, was Help a Reporter Out, and you can Google it, Help a Reporter Out, and you can get the links and jump on their list if you want to do that. Cool. All right, man. So listen, I found this pretty cool, and I thought it was pretty interesting. And I know you've seen it before, and it's from a service that's called clipdrop.co. Clipdrop.co. And one of the tools they have is called this stable doodle. And it's basically transform your doodle into real images in seconds. And so you can basically just draw here, whatever, whatever chicken scratch or whatever you want, and then give it a description. And the AI will go create an image of that particular thing that you made a doodle of. So you can have some real fun with this one. It is free for you to come here and do. And you can always upgrade to some of their other stuff. But in their set of tools, this particular one is free. I like this one because sometimes we can be creative and want something and not have to just search for an image, inside of Google or something else. But you can come create a unique image. But if you can draw it and give it a description, it will create that thing for you. Jerry, I know you played with this one. What was your experience like?
That's pretty cool. I mean, the again, it's AI stuff is taking things to a whole other level. So the fact that you could sketch something, give it a prompt, and then it goes out and creates a picture and for you is pretty phenomenal. I mean, I'm not sure what everyone's skills are in terms of where they were in art class. I mean, art class is something I went through. It wasn't something I was excelling at. So drawing and getting state of the art, pictures. This will be coming in handy for me.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm no artist, but I mean I could pretty much draw like a bicycle, sorta.
Yeah, they're not gonna put my
Right,
stuff up in the museum. My pictures.
right. I could draw the sort of a bicycle if I wanted to. Give it like a seat. Um, let's say bike on a trail, right? Something like that, and hit generate, and we'll see what it does. So any, like you can spend more time, kind of sketching something out, but this just gives you a quick idea of what it is, right? So there's different bikes. This one looks broken, but you get an idea. And then there's different styles that you can choose from. So if you wanted photographic or an anime or cinematic, you can choose, which one you wanted to do. Um, so if you don't choose any, it'll just give you whatever it thinks is best. But you can then choose different one, and then you can do so many per hour. It looks like for the free account, and then here's some others that it came up with for the different ones. So anyway, this is a cool thing you can play with if you want to come check out real quickly what you can do with this tool. It's called clipdrop.co, and this one is the stable doodle tool that they use. There's all these other tools, Jerry. I don't know if you've played with any other. Have you checked out any other?
Now I saw that it had background removal, replace background. So this is something definitely something if you are working with graphics and you're creating anything that you're posting like a flyer on social media or Instagram. There's a way for you to create stuff that you can use to promote your business, yourself, or whatever ideas you have. Quotes. I think one of the things you could use it for is people who are trying to create like those quote graphics. That you want something in the background, and you might have a hard time trying to figure out like, well, how do I get a stock photo for this? You know what you want it to look like. You can sketch, a river or a mountain, and then have it create that, picture of clouds or whatever you're trying to do, and have it create something that you don't have to go searching for stock photos for.
Yep, I agree. Let's talk about pricing, just so you guys have an idea. Basically, all these tools you have for free. Um, the background remover is one, and I think you can. I'm assuming you can do so many per 24 hours, right? So it's like you can do so many per 24 hours. Um,
It looks like the only thing you cannot do is to replace the background. I think that was crossed off at the bottom.
yep, yeah, that's right. You can't see it, but it is crossed off. But for $9 a month, you can do all the other tools if you want to come play with them. So this is just one I thought was pretty cool, um, especially that one about the doodling. The other stuff you got to just play with, right? If you want to relight a photo or do some other stuff, I would definitely check that out. But I definitely think it's worth taking a look at clipdrop.co for some graphic tools that you want to check out and use. And I had a good time with the few minutes that I was playing with it, but there's always times and places that you need to look out for things that you can do with graphics. And the more things that you know that are out there, the more things that are in your or toolbox, then the more options you have. And with that, I want to talk about this last one we're going to talk about for today. There's certain industries and things that I look at um, to find some really cool things. And Jerry, I'll tell you one of the things I do. Uh, I typically, when it comes to having some of the latest, coolest things when it comes to streaming and video, I will look at and study what gamers do. Because gamers, the guys who like to play video games on their computer, not necessarily the units like Nintendo and Microsoft and where all the other units out there, um, but on their computer where they play computer on the games and they have the camera on them while they're playing, and then they're streaming their video games. Like, one of the reasons why I study them is for them to stream all that data, because they got them that's moving on the screen and they got the game that's moving, and it's graphics
It's a
intensive.
lot.
Typically they need, it's a lot on the computer, so they had figured out early on how to really stream. So I sometimes study them to figure out, to see what's coming, what are they doing that's really cool. Not that I'm a gamer, I'm not in that thing, and I don't play, but I know that they typically figure out. So sometimes when it comes to looking for studying how can you do this, I know if it's trying to stream that I studied gamers, and that's kind of how I came up with some of the things for the show, because they were ahead of the curve when it came to streaming. With that said, I'm going to share this other resource, and we're looking at like another thing I do. Sometimes I look at like what are the professionals use, right? Because sometimes you have professional grade and you have what's considered consumer grade, right? And online it's the same thing. Like usually what the professionals use can do so much more than what a consumer will use. But what I've learned is technology travels so fast, so whatever the professionals are using, usually within 3 to 6 months there will be something similar for a consumer grade that will give you a a uh, a a very good thing that almost is almost on a professional level. So this last one I'm going to share with you guys today, and it is called uh, flawless AI. And what flawless AI does is that it allows you to take video and change the language. Right now, I've seen some AI do this, and it's you can tell when the AI does it. But with this one, it's almost impossible to tell. The other thing, this is not a consumer grade product, right? So this is in the film industry. This is the professional. So if you're going to make a movie, and when you go to make a movie, you typically will have a budget. You will have sponsor money or whatever they get their money. You will have a budget that everything fits on. And if you wanted to make that movie in multiple languages, then this is something that the film industry is using. So I'm gonna share it with you. I'm trying to show here. Trying to show some of the things they work with, but I'm not seeing it on this page. Um, but I'm going to share with you this so you can see it. Now, in this particular clip, it's about a minute long, so it's not that long. Um, in this particular clip, it was for a movie that was out with the two girls who climbed to the top of the thing and they got stuck there and they couldn't get down. It's from that movie. In this particular clip, in this short clip, there is profanity, but it is bleeped out. But this is a warning. It's going to get bleeped out, and it's not something that I would typically have on the show. But I want you guys to see how this technology works. So basically, what it does is it takes the thing, it renders their face sort of like how CGI would do it, and then it renders it multiple different ways, and then it's able to make it look like they're saying something else or not saying anything at all. So I want to share this with you, and Jerry, I want your feedback because I think this is really really cool. Let's see if we can get this any bigger.
Now we're stuck on.
Nope, it doesn't look like I can make it any bigger. What if I? It still doesn't make the video any bigger. I was trying to get it just a little bit bigger. All right, so again, this is a scene. They're going to bleep it out, but it's just a few lines, and then they're going to show you the two different renders, and then they're going to show it to you saying nothing at all. But this, and then they're going to show it to you in different language. So yeah, Jerry, when I play this, if you can't hear it, let me know. Give me 1 second, guys. I want to make sure that I can control. Move something over here. I can control it if you guys can't hear it. All right, so here we go.
On this stupid tower in the middle of nowhere. And I don't blame you, and now we're stuck on this stupid freaking tower in the middle of freaking nowhere. And it's all my fault. 軽蔑してるよね。仕方ないよ。Y es todo por mi culpa. Now we're stuck on this stupid tower in the
Right, it started over. So I don't know how clear that was, man, but it was amazing how it rendered the face in two different ways, and then it basically showed the same thing without saying nothing, and then it replaced the profanity word with a non-profanity word, and then it was able to change the actual language as well, which is pretty cool. So, man, I think the reason why I'm sharing this is I'm sharing this one not because you need to go out and contact these people and see if you can do it, because unless you're making a movie and have a big budget, you don't even see pricing on here. It's one of those industry things. But if this is what they're doing now, and people who are making movies can come here and get it, the same technology, almost on the same level, will be available for consumers' use very, very soon. So what did you think of what you saw, Jerry?
Yeah, that would change. That would have changed our whole Saturday afternoon experience with Kung Fu Theater, because I could not see any deviation between the mouth and the words. It's like, that's pretty cool. I mean, the fact that it was all synced up, that they went from one, it's almost as if they reshot the whole clip all over again.
Yeah, I
And
thought it
they
was
didn't.
amazing.
They didn't. So that's it's fascinating what they could now do with the technology.
Yeah, and I also think that this is part of the reason why that the strike, because this had a lot to do with it, with what people could and could not do with AI. With
Right.
but yes, definitely, being able to, if you're going to create a movie now, uh, and instead of having subtitles, and having to have it reread in another voice, that was amazing because even though it was a different language, it was still her voice. I don't know if you caught that. It was like still her voice, just saying it in a different
Different
language. It
language.
was amazing. I know this stuff is coming, and I've seen some AI software consumer version that we can go out to get, and it'll make you say something. But if you're looking closely, or if it's really zoomed in, you can tell us. You could just tell us. It's like it's
Right.
good, but it ain't real good. But this one
Right.
was like, whoa. So really impressed, and I just wanted to share that because I believe that this is what's coming. This is what's coming in the very near future for consumer like us to be able to do the same thing. So now that you know that it's coming, you can prepare, you can get ready to think about and start to think about how you can use this technology to have your content in another language, even if you can't speak that language. Because I've always thought, hey, it would be great to put it in different languages and put it in front of other countries. But my thing would be like, well, when they respond and they try to communicate to me back in that language, then then I'm stuck. So, but you got to think about it. Think about how you could do it. Think about what you can do in the future, because all this stuff, if you can't figure out how to use it for your benefit, then it's just cool. And the things are going to, people who can figure out are the ones who are going to get the most benefit from it.
Right. Right.
So those are the few that we have for you for this week, and we have some more. I have some more goodies for you for next week.
Yeah, and as you said, man, as these things start to change the scope of business, it's going to create these new rules, like, because the really comes down to how do you ethically use this. And before, with an actor or actress, their name, image, their likeness. But if you record it, you get a whole bunch of like recordings, and you can now stockpile those into a database. Like, oh, what do we need right here? We need Denzel, and just saying something else, and then it's like you just change it and take somebody's clip, and now you can make a whole new movie without them having to be able to be there. It's like that's little, it changes the dynamics. This is why the economics and the scale change. So this is all as the technology moves, changes and moves. We have to change some of the rules of the game to be able to keep up with it. Sometimes technology moves faster than our um, the rules for handling it.
Yeah, yeah, and that's going to change those contracts, like you said as well. Because I even heard, and I don't know if it's true, but I've heard that James Earl Jones has sold his voice to Disney so they could use it as Darth Vader. So,
Wow.
it's like, yeah,
But I hope his
right,
family
like,
gets some type of residual off that. Like get a residual. They get like, I mean, is a one that was a one lifetime deal? Like, cause you think like, man, they should be able to like get a percentage.
yeah,
Which this could be another episode. Like I watched the Tetris movie recently on Apple. That could be a whole nother show. We come back to do that, and it basically talk about how these deals were created for technology, based on what people saw at the time. It's quite fascinating, but that'll be a
yes,
whole
sir.
nother episode. So, folks, I know you enjoyed this. I fairly and thoroughly enjoyed these resources when Greg showed them with me. In the comments, for those of you who are watching live and for those who are in the replay watching it, let us know your thoughts. Let us know your feedback when you go out and try some of these tools. How are you using them? How are you putting them into action? How are they helping your business? And if you don't know where to comment, comment on the video also, but comment inside the group, technologytuesday.com. Let other folks inside of our group, the other people that are, partner with us together, we're all in this business journey together, part of the tribe. Let them know what tools are you using? What things have you found? How what can you share to help someone else out, and then have an exchange of ideas back and forth to see what resources are out there we all can start to maximize. And with that, thank you for tuning in. If you like this video, share it, give us a thumbs up, and give us your feedback. Until next time, we'll be here, technologytuesday.com, always at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Take care.